Yo, what's up? Bob here. Welcome to the Bob Bradley YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be talking what's on the table early 2026, what I've been listening to, what I'm looking for, what my ears want to hear. Of course, we're going to speak a little bit about Bob Weir and maybe get into what my band Condors in the System has been up to as of late. So let's get started. So I've really been focused on finding records that I really want to listen to actively, critically, and not just things that will sit on the shelf. So some audiophile type records and some very earthy records. Speaking of earthy records, let's get into this first one. Norman Blake's Whiskey Before Breakfast. This is an incredibly clean copy of this record. I paid $10 for it. As you can see, it says Norman's guitar record. Yeah. Over here we have the Troubadour Music. Kind of piece of the sticker of what was probably the original price tag. This is, of course, on Rounder with that steam locomotive up here at the top. Yeah, everything on Rounder is great. If you love bluegrass, roots music, that type of thing, if you see Rounder, chances are you're holding heat in your hands. So, nice record. This is still in the shrink. Super nice. Super quiet, super flat, the whole deal. Norman, as I mentioned before, more of a roots music guy, more raw, more to the bone. This is not like a Tony record. Tony Rice is a perfect master of most everything. Playing, singing, watch repair. So, Tony's execution and polish is far greater than Norman's. Norman is more of a simpler creature, and if you want to hear the raw tones of a C.F. Martin D18, this is the place to hear it. You get tunes like the title track, Whiskey Before Breakfast, Salt River, also Norman's take on Church Street Blues, which we know from the Tony Rice record, Church Street Blues. Yes, this is a great record. If you see it, definitely snatch it quick. I recently discovered this record, in the past few months. I heard Daniel Lanois talking about it, and I thought, man, I need to find that. What I didn't realize is I'd already seen the record, held it in my hand, was contemplating buying it, and stuck it back in the rack. I was down at the undisclosed location, and I was flipping through, and I found a couple Neville Brothers records, right? And I was thinking, I should get these. And then I was thinking, I really don't want to spend the money right now, so I just shoved them back in the rack. Then I hear Daniel talking about this record that he made with the Neville Brothers. I went and checked it out. It's super funky. Oh my God, it's ultra funk, right? And I realized that I had held that record and put it back in the bin. So I ran out, got in the car, drove straight. This is months later. Drove straight down to the undisclosed location, and it was still sitting there. The Neville Brothers, Yellow Moon. Yes. Oh my Lord, is this funky. Just on the tune Voodoo alone, I would have bought this record, but there are some other fantastic tracks on here. Yellow Moon, for one, right? There's covers on here of a lot of Bob Dylan tunes, but also a nice cover of Fire and Brimstone. Daniel Lanois' presence is felt on this. There's lots of atmospheric things going on, mixed in with Tony Hall's super heavy. Coming in like a ton of bricks bass guitar on this. My Lord. Aaron Neville doing some really beautiful vocals on a few tracks, and just the whole, this is a project where the execution is really nice. There's a couple tunes that, are really showing their age here. This was recorded in '89, so like Sister Rosa. It's kind of a pseudo rap song, but sounds like the period. So it's a little dated sounding, but that's it. All the rest of the stuff is absolutely incredible. You will not be disappointed. I paid 15 bucks for this record. It's worth every penny and more. This is one of the funkiest things I've heard in a while. If you see it, get the cleanest copy you can. This is, what is it called? An electro disc? Pressing, the blackest of backgrounds. The most perfect pressing. I mean, there's no noise, no nothing on this. I mean, this is a super clean copy, but just the pressing is just outrageous. Yeah. The Neville Brothers, Yellow Moon, get it right away. Go listen to it. Just listen to Voodoo. It's, so good. If you like records that they didn't chop the bass off, you'll like that. All right, last but not least, speaking of execution, right? This is a record where the execution and the just effort is obvious, you know? Probably the best solo David Gilmour record. I could have bought this record at any time. Just got on eBay or Discogs or whatever and just ordered this record. But I was waiting to find it. You know, it wasn't like, oh my God, I've got to find On an Island right now. But I finally found a copy, 20 bucks, half price books, clean copy. I did have to ultrasonic this thing like 5 times. It kept leaving junk on my stylus, and, you know, every time I'd play it, it would leave some junk. I'd have to clean the stylus, then put it back in the ultrasonic cleaner. Finally, the dirt's off this thing. It's a very clean record. It just was dirty. There's no scratches or anything like that. But boy, does this sound good. Title track, On an Island. David Crosby, Graham Nash helping out with the choruses. Gilmour, big fat guitar, lap steel, beautiful lead sounds as always. He's got all the David Gilmour tricks going. There's an early 50s gold top heavily featured on this record. That's a Les Paul guitar if you don't know. There's some videos on YouTube where Dave is making this record and they go to Abbey Road and record the strings, and he's on his houseboat recording the guitar tracks, and a really cool thing to watch. Definitely, probably David's strongest work as a solo artist. His new record is pretty good, but this is definitely where it's at. Custom center label there. Simplistic artwork, but effective. Really great record. Definitely an audiophile selection. Bob Weir passed away yesterday, 78 years old. You know, lived probably his best life. I mean, from a very young age to an advanced age of a pretty old man. You know, he was a wealthy, famous musician, legendary in his own right, in a super legendary band. And he had several great bands. Rat Dog, the Wolf Brothers, Grateful Dead, right? So, I mean, really, really extraordinary fella. Really interesting guy. The Bob Weir documentary, the other one, what a great movie that is. If you haven't seen that, check it out. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you've probably seen me go to Dead & Company shows and go see Bob with the Wolf Brothers, and you know, I've shown a lot of Grateful Dead records and stuff, and I usually always have one out. And just right now, Shakedown is out here. You know, it's, you know, opens with the Bob song, I believe, Good Lovin'. Side 2, I Need a Miracle. Yeah. So, you know, Bob's always represented really heavily on these Dead records. And, you know, if you know Bob at all, you know he's kind of a blues man. If you go see Bob Weir play, and he's always playing these, you know, the blues numbers that he always has done with the Dead. But I always find it interesting that he picks all those, you know, songs, scraggly guitar tones. I mean, just especially recently, just really kind of strident, trebly sounds. And I mean, he's always doing interesting things, you know. But Godspeed to Bob Weir. May he rest in peace for sure. Been doing a lot of work with the band. We got some really exciting things coming up. Condors in the System. We're about to start our next project. we've got a lot of things going on with that. We're kind of building up the environment right now and collecting the gear. The songs are all done and written, and we're about to start recording them. We're obviously doing the drums first and all that. I have been collecting the gear that is necessary for the proceedings, including this 1973 Ram's Head Big Muff Electro Harmonics. Got a little note here. White cans. And then we have the transistors here. Fairchild. This is like a Gilmour-ish type of muff for sure. If not the Gilmour muff, right? So, very cool pedal. I have many big muffs. If you've watched the channel, you know that. But there's some other crucial pieces that I needed to do this thing right. And I've got almost all of them. I just have a few more little things that I have to snag. And then I'll be ready. But yeah, it's all about the drums right now. There'll be some footage of all that stuff coming, I'm sure. But yeah, I've got some other cool vinyl related videos coming. I've got some of that stuff coming. I've got a lot of stuff coming. So working hard over here. 2026. It's going, and it's already really interesting. So 26 coming in hard.
All I know is something like a bird within her sang. All I know, she sang a little while and then flew up.